I think we're ready to go. Good evening, everybody. My name is Jeff Riddles. I'm the producer of Franchise Hockey Manager. Adam, our community manager, who would normally be here, is still feeling a little under the weather. He's doing a bit better though, so I think he's going to be back with us next Wednesday. So we'll be back doing whichever game he wants to do at that point. But what I figured we'd do tonight, since FHM is just came out yesterday, and I probably don't want to start any long-term games yet. Just waiting for the first couple of updates before we do one of those, or at least the first one. And regarding that, I think we're probably going to be aiming for hopefully Friday just to get some of the basic fixes in. There's two or three fairly high, well, more than that, a few high priority things we want to get done quickly. So we're going to try and get that done hopefully Friday morning-ish. I'm actually playing the version I'm going to be playing right now is a new build, so I don't think there's going to be anything that noticeable to you because none of the problems we had fixed necessarily to apply to anything I've been doing tonight, but we'll get that tested, probably try another one tomorrow, and then everything goes well, we'll get that out as early as possible on Friday for you, so you will have the fixed version for the weekend. And then we'll probably do another more complete patch a little while after that. And then we're looking at the first content patch for maybe 5 weeks from now, which will be the first one that adds new things to the game. So since I'm alone tonight, I'm trying to keep an eye on both channels. We're actually streaming on Twitch or on Steam tonight as well, which I'm not going to be able to watch just because I don't have any screen space to check that many different places at once, but we are on the FHM channel and we are on the OTP Twitch channel. So if you've got a question, feel free to ask on there, and I'll be keeping an eye on both of those. So anyhow, what we're going to be doing tonight is replaying the 1981 Canada Cup. If you're not familiar with this, what happened was basically back in the 70s and 80s, with the NHL players not being able to play in the Olympics, there was no real tournament that matched up the best players from the top countries in the world. You'd get, the Olympics where the Soviets and the Czechoslovaks would send their teams, which were theoretically amateur, but were actually full of basically full-time hockey players, and they tended to dominate everybody. You would have the World Championships in the spring, but that happened in the middle of the NHL playoffs, so the Canadian and American teams and even the Finnish and Swedish teams would have a few players from the NHL whose teams hadn't made the playoffs or got knocked out early, but it wasn't, they weren't particularly competitive there either. But so what happened was what got put together was the Canada Cup. The first one happened in 1976. Canada won that. The next one was scheduled for 79, and there was some wrangling over that delayed it for quite a while. Finally, 2 years later, September 1981, the second Canada Cup tournament happened. If you don't know how that went, Canada did pretty well up until the second period of the final game. I think they actually led the round robin portion of the tournament. The format here is 6-team round robin, and then the top 4 teams make the playoffs. It's just a simple one-game playoff, 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3, and then the 2 winners meet in the final for the championship. Canada did pretty well up to that point, led the round robin, made it into the final game against the Soviets, outshot them badly in the first period of that game, and then things kind of fell apart. The Soviets went up 3-1 in the second, and rather than come back, Canada just sort of completely fell apart in the third period. Wound up losing 8-1, gave up 5 goals in the third. A guy named Sergei Shepelev, who wasn't really particularly distinguished in any other way internationally, had a hat trick and wound up making the tournament all-star team, and it was very disappointing for 11-year-old me. As this was actually the first tournament that Wayne Gretzky, he played in the World Junior Championships, but this was the first major tournament that we had Wayne Gretzky going up against the Soviet team. So the first thing we're going to do here, I'm going to control a Canadian team in this. So we need to name a roster, and pretty much everybody is available to us. We need to pick 3 goalies and 20 skaters, so grab the goalies first. As much as I'd like to take them, I don't really trust that 4.5 star scouting rating on Richard Berder because I know what the internal ratings are. And I think that's a little bit exaggerated. Mike Liud, who was the guy who gave up the 8 goals in the final game, we'll give him another chance. Put him in. I'm going to take Billy Smith from the Islanders just because I know he's got a good big game rating. We may want to play him in the final if we make it that far. And we do need a third goalie. Leaning towards Don Edwards from Buffalo. I think at this point they've still got Edwards, and Bob Sauvé is getting a lot of playing time in Buffalo. But I think that was more just Scotty Bowman being Scotty Bowman and not necessarily letting one starter dominate. So I got Grant Fuhrs in his rookie season. He's pretty good at this point, but we don't really want him for this tournament. I think I'm going to go with Edwards. Kilgard Wolf in the FHM channel. So far, I've only done one season so far, but it seems like the ratings that lead to 2A forward roles are much more prominent in this year's game. No, not particularly. There is a mechanic in there that if you've been playing a while, some players will, particularly the guys who come up from junior as offensive players, if they realize they're not going to get ahead in a top-level league, they'll sort of devolve into a 2-way guy or a checking forward. So there is a mechanic there. You may be seeing some of that if you play it for a while. And the Nicolino in the OTP channel, did I take Billy Smith? Yes, I took Billy Smith. So obviously first choice for actually I'm going to do the defenseman first. I'm going to take 7 defensemen, 13 forwards. Ray Bourque for sure. That's a no-brainer. Denny Potvin as well. Canada is really set for defensemen at this point. Larry Robinson, another easy one. Randy Carlyle, who I think is the defending Norris Trophy winner here, against some pretty tough competition. Brad Park, I think I've got to check his ratings a little bit because he shouldn't be quite this good at this stage of his career, but I'm going to take him anyhow. Craig Hartsburg, if I remember right, was on the team, and I need one more. Yeah, one more. Kevin Lowe's still pretty young. So's Paul Coffey. And yeah, Coffey's going to be too much of a defensive liability at this age. Larry Murphy's coming off a great rookie year, as is Dave Babich. And Rob Ramage is out there too. Maybe Ramage. Because he can be a decent 2-way guy. He can play on the lower pair and give us a little more defensive effectiveness. Otherwise, I could go down and look for a defensive defenseman. Bill Haidt is probably the best one there, but I think I'm going to need a little more puck-moving ability against the Russians. And the forwards, obviously Gretzky. And Marcel Dion, 2 years off his tie with Gretzky for the scoring lead. That's another good one. Gilbert Perreault actually had a great tournament. He was on the tournament all-star team for this. They had him playing on Gretzky's wing, so I'm going to take him. Bossy, another definitely. Brian Trottier, for sure. Denny Savard. Oh, geez, 5 stars here, and he's coming off the big rookie season, but I'm not sure if I've got room for him. Same with Messi. They're getting there, but they're a little young. Bill Barber, definitely. Bob Gainey, not really an offensive force, but the best shutdown guy on the team. Let's see, Clark Gillies was on the team. Don't remember him working out particularly well, though. He's sort of mainly a big physical guy. I don't think that's going to help much in this tournament. And again, we haven't got a whole lot of left wings. I'm going to go bring Michel Goulet in. What do we got here for forwards so far? 4 center. Actually, no, Perreault's going to play left wing. So actually, I've got my 4 left wings with Perreault moving over. Another center, and I need some right wings too. Rick Middleton, I guess, yeah, I remember him being on the team. Real Cloutier, maybe not. Gardner's there. Lanny McDonald, possibly. Gardner's got a little more speed than McDonald, though, I think. Okay, another center or right wing, and then one more spare player. Oh, I know who I want. I don't see him yet, though. Guy Lafleur, who's had injuries coming off of, I think, the first of his the injuries that really wore him down in the first stage of his career. But I'm going to put him on there, and I'm looking for Sittler. Where's Daryl Sittler? Because he was the big star of the '76 tournament. Red Flyers, Nick, how you doing? That's funny, I can't find Sittler. Try it alphabetically. There's Sittler, 3.5 stars, but I'm going to take him anyhow, just because he had done so well in '76. And he'll be the spare probably. And I need one more skater, maybe a winger. Maybe a winger, maybe a center. Let's see, Lanny McDonald, maybe Dave Taylor. See, no, pretty even with McDonald. Savard's going to be more of a defensive liability. I'm going to go with Dave Taylor. Maybe put him with Dion so I can keep 2/3 of that line from the Kings together. Well, that's the whole team. I'll set everybody's roles. Okay, no, I don't want to go with... four defensive pairs. Well, I'll take that down and only use 3. And I'm going to keep them... try to keep these fairly even. 2020, 22, 2018, that's fine. Now, forwards, Gretzky obviously in the first line. We'll put Bossy on his side. And Perreault worked out well in the actual Canada Cup this year, so we'll throw him on the left wing. Gainey goes to the fourth line. That's checking forward. And I think I'm going to put Trottier down there with him. Taylor and Dion will stay together. They play together on the Kings and should have a little chemistry there. Lafleur on the third line. Sittler in the middle of that one. And yeah, Bill Barber on Dion and Taylor's wing, and then Middleton will be the spare. Power play. That's pretty good. Penalty killing, likewise. Okay, looking fine there. Now the tactics. Overall tendencies. Going to go a little farther in on attacking. Not quite as aggressive. It's international hockey. You don't want to be taking a ton of penalties. Definitely have to come back. No, we'll just keep it about even on the pressure. Don't want them running around too much. That was a problem often with Team Canada in that area in these games. Trying to get a little too physical, taking penalties. Keep the tempo up. Keep the passing about where it is, same as shooting. Breakout. Fairly traditional one up along the boards. Let's see, balanced offense. Since we got Gretzky, I'm going to focus on playing from behind the net and just the standard 1-2-2s on the forechecks. Power play breakup, we'll take it up through the middle. Blocks formation in the offensive zone. And I'm not going to go too aggressive with the when defending on the power play. And just a basic box for the shorthanded coverage, and try to maintain possession when we're shorthanded when we get the puck. And let's see, I'm actually going to switch the line matching up here. Put the fourth line, which is the Gainey-Trottier line, lined up against the opposing first line. And then bump everybody else down one. Second line, yeah, that's okay. So that's probably going to reduce the ice time of the third line a little bit. And the fourth line gets top priority in defensive zone faceoffs. Oh, and I'm going to put in a single tactical override here for the fourth. Do not have them trying to do too much offensively, but make sure they come back. Slow down the tempo a little bit, and the rest is fine. I'll stick with basic tactics. Okay, first game against Czechoslovakia. This is going to be a fairly tough one right off the start. This is probably the... If it was the Olympics, it'd be the second best team in the tournament. These guys are probably third best behind the Soviets and Canada. But really, there's no extremely weak teams in this tournament. Everybody, I mean, Finland is probably the weakest of them, but they've got Curry and some other decent players. Well, I can look at the roster here. Yeah, Ruotsalainen, Curry, well, kind of built around that. Actually, a little worse than I remember. Feels like there's somebody missing there. I'm not sure who. That's Finland, Czechoslovakia, who we're going to be playing. It's actually a little unrealistic because we can't keep the defectors out in the game. So Peter Stastny and Anton Stastny, who had defected the year before and had put up huge numbers in Quebec in their first season in the NHL, they're actually going to be playing for Czechoslovakia where they wouldn't have been able to in real life. Same with Vaslav Nedomansky, who's kind of winding down his career at this point, but is still pretty good. And anybody else? No, I don't think so. Yuri Dudacek, who'd been the surprise first-round pick by the Sabres a year or two earlier and hadn't... everybody assumed that meant he was going to defect. He turned out not defecting, never played a game for him, so the Sabres wasted their first rounder that year. And in goal, they're actually in the kind of uncharacteristically weak period for the Czechoslovaks. They normally had very strong goaltending, but it's they're between the point where they had guys like Vladimir Zorila and who was the other one? Yuri Holacek. And then in the later 80s and 90s, that kind of, it improved again. But at this point, it's probably the weakest Czechoslovak goaltending you'll see for a few years, or for actually longer than that. Sweden, late Pelle Lindbergh in goal, pretty competitive. Ketnoff Nielsen, Hedberg. Some of these, there's some injury problems with some of these guys, but they're healthy here. Borja Salming anchoring a defense, so they could upset somebody. I wouldn't count them out. U.S. Obviously a big problem in goal. They didn't have this in real life because Tony Esposito who's a Canadian in the game, had become an American citizen and decided to play this tournament for the U.S. So they would normally have Esposito in goal, but I guess they're going to go with Steve Baker, who'd been the backup for the Rangers the previous couple of years, and Jim Craig, the 1980 U.S. Olympic goalie. So that's going to be their big problem. They're a good team other than that. Mark Howe, Rod Langway, and Neil Brodin. You can see quite a few of the 1980 U.S. Olympic guys in there. Dave Christian, Mike Eves, Steve Kristoff, Neil Broughton, Mark Johnson, Mike Ramsey, and Craig. So what's that, 6-7 guys from that Olympia, from the Miracle on Ice team. So they may be able to pull off an upset, but the scary one is the Russians. Vladislav Tretiak, 5 stars in goal. That's going to be a huge problem to get anything by him. There's a little bit of a depth problem in defense. Fetisov and Kazatonov are still young. They're not quite at their peak yet. And some of the older guys like Vasilyev, his career is winding down. You see, he's only 2 stars in the game, and there's a little depth, not much depth behind that. Sergei Starikov, who had when the Iron Curtain finally came down and the guys and the Russians were able to come over, had a very brief career in New Jersey and wasn't all that impressive. He's only 22 a year. So we may have be able to exploit some of those bottom pair defensemen a little bit. Up front, no such luck. Makarov's at 4.5 stars. He'll be 5 before long. Larionov's at 4 stars. Krutov's, so the whole KLM line's there. Shepelev, who had that great final game in real life, he's there. Nikolai Drozdetsky, who's only 3 stars. Look at the ratings for him. He's only 3 stars in this. He had, I think, led the Soviet League in scoring the previous year, so he should be a little better than that. But yeah, this is going to be a very tough team to beat, and they've got something to prove because this is their first big tournament after losing to the Americans in the Olympics the year before. No, year and a half before. So let's get going here, and what I'm going to do is play this game in. Oh, whoops, look at the start. I'm starting. Edwards good enough for the first game. And Czechs have Sindel in goal, so play the game. And what I will do here is go into the options. I think I've got these set up the way I want. We watch the whole thing, and I've got the use on ice decisions turned on, which is the new one of the new things we've added for FHM 8. So we're going to be intervening quite a bit in the way Canada plays in this game. Don't know how much time I'm going to have to. I'll probably do this game. We'll probably sim one or more of the other games, or maybe I may wait. If we get a big lead here, I'll just sim to the end of it, because I don't think I'm going to have time to play out every single game in the tournament, and we'll skip some of the easier round robin games. But anyhow, let's get going. Oh, to have sound turned off. Yeah, sound is turned on, is muted. Normally I play with the sound on, but I don't want it. Tends to come through very loud in the stream, so I don't want to deafen you guys. So we'll get the pre-game warm-up. Guys will come out, skate around for a bit, and play the anthem. I know I mentioned it on our forums a couple of times, but it is possible to mod national anthem files in if you put a WAV file in the correct format into the sound folder. You can get, I think it'll play out however long. I don't know. I don't remember if Sebastian said it to play 10 seconds of an anthem file or the whole thing. But if you put that in there, you can actually hear the anthems playing. If you can find a version of the national anthem you like, and it'll be the anthem of the home team in the game. So in this case, it's theoretically us. Well, it's both technically us and in fact, because the game's being played in Canada. So Gretzky wins the opening face-off. Puck goes to Bossy. We'll see if he can get around the outside. I'm going to tell him to skate. Goes deep into the zone. And feeds it to Gretzky, who's behind the net. I don't really have a shot from that point, so I'm going to see if he can find Perot, who's coming in from the left side, and no, goalie breaks up the pass, I think. Czechs break back out. And Bork gets called for tripping. So penalty killer's out. That should be Gainey. Yep. And Czechs moving it around a lot there. And Gainey gets it. I'm just going to tell him to ice it. So throws it down the ice. And they retrieve a long pass back up the ice. But it looks like Bill Barber took it away. Let's just dump that out. Oh, no, he didn't do very well there, but it looks like we picked it up and managed to get it out. Penalties, got 40 seconds left. Just ice it, and hopefully, yeah, most of our guys should be changing up there. Gainey's going in after it. And goes out of play. And, oh no, a few seconds left in the penalty. Czechs come in, miss the net on the shot, so I think we limit them to no shots on that. 7 seconds left. I'm going to have Park hold up for a second behind the net. He gets forced to pass out to Perot. Penalty is over, so we should have a man up there. Let's see if we can find him coming out. Yeah, Bork has the puck. So I'm going to have him rush with it. We got an odd man. No, we got a check coming in from the other side. Perot, I'm going to see if we can feed it back to the point. Nope, went the other way with it. And shot, and Park recovers the rebound. Let's try to get a pass up, as I think no, got intercepted. And let's see, just dump it out there. Maybe shouldn't have done that. They're putting a little bit of offensive pressure on us now. Everybody clustered up. Let's let Gretzky wait for a minute and try to get people into position. He finds Gainey. Gainey was just going to skate it up the ice. Probably change lines here, and partial one. And this is something I want to work on in the game engine. We've got guys holding on to the puck way too long in the offensive zone. He should have done something with it by this point. So I'm going to work on that and try to get that into one of the early updates. Robinson back at the point, tries a shot, gets blocked, recovers it. Chicks dump it out. Nearly a breakaway there. And Gartner is fast. I'm going to have him head up ice. Changing behind him to Sittler. Don't have anybody else in the offensive zone yet, so I'm going to have Sittler drive a little forward. But he decides that's something I should mention here. The players don't necessarily do what you want them to, so they'll ignore, or they'll make their own decisions some of the time if they think they've got a better idea. But Gartner can shoot from there. Blocked. Sittler manages to recover. See if he can get deep into the zone. No luck. And Goulet coming back out. Let's just chip that out because everybody is deep in the zone. Nope, he decides to skate with it instead. He ignored me there. And finds Lafleur with a nice pass over there. It's still too high to shoot, so skates in. Lafleur's got two guys on him, and we changed lines there. That's why he had nobody to pass to. And see, one thing I want to do here is add a button to hide temporarily hide the on-ice decision, so you can get a better idea where the players were. You can see that's, if you look carefully, Perot's got it back at the point. So I'm going to try a long shot from there. And Lafleur's got it. Let's see if he can find Gretzky coming into the face-off circle. Goes the other way to Park, which works. Takes the shot. Rebound to Gretzky. Gretzky's on another chance. We'll shoot again. And I think he put it over the net. Okay, Robinson back behind our own blue line. Skated out. Perot, keep skating. And let's get Bossy over the line. Just dump it in. Change up. Oh, okay. Almost looked like a bad counterattack there, but we got enough players out in time. Czechs pressing forward. Bossy took it away. Didn't get a decision on Bossy there. That was a little surprising. Barber can take it up ice. Yeah, doing this way too often. And lost a puck there. See, we should be taking the puck away from when this happens. I don't know why that's... The defenseman isn't effectively stripping the puck there. Loose puck for a second there and gets frozen along the boards finally. Barber coming all the way up the ice, finds Dion in the slot for a shot. And the rebound goes out. How are we doing on shots so far? 5-4 for us. Not fantastic, but okay, good enough. And looks like Froza passes it out to Carlisle, and I think we can try a long pass from here. Another one from Robinson, and let's head Dion up the ice. Ramage back to point. We'll take a shot from there. Comes in a little bit to take the shot. And a bit of a scramble. See if we can gain and get it back to the point. He can to Park. Park shoots, but rebound's controlled. Gainey strips it again. It's one of the nice things about having Bob Gainey in the game. You'll be getting a lot of those takeaways. And eventually frozen along the boards. And the check center thrown out of the face-off. But they still win it and come back up the ice. Take it away from him. Seriously, guys, somebody go after him. Come on. Finally. And grabbed by Edwards. Face off in our zone. Does that put... No, it didn't put the Gainey line out. They may have been tired. And Dion gets it. Dump it out and see if we can beat somebody. No, he gives it to Taylor instead, so Taylor can skate up. And frozen along the boards again. Well, we're letting him control the puck in the offensive zone, but we're not really giving him any shots. Still would be nice to get the puck back up the ice. They missed the net there. Behind it, and Bork ties him up. But I'd expect us to be doing a little better offensively. Let's try moving the puck around a little bit more. Going with the pass option. Trotty's in a good position to skate it up ice. Oh, gave it away. Jeez. And Gainey, skate with it, at least get it out of the zone. Thank you. And as we change up, Gainey holds onto the puck in the offensive zone, but should really be trying for a pass there. And it gets frozen along the boards eventually. Gretzky out for the face-off, back to Ramage at the point. Try the shot. Doesn't get through. And Czechoslovakia ices it. Gretzky still out there, but loses the face-off. Don't think he's particularly good at face-offs at this point in his career, and Edwards makes the save and sends it back out. Rowe skates with it, see if he can find Gretzky. Not Gretzky, but Bossy. He's kind of at long range, but I'll see if he'll shoot from there. Nope, decides to pass it instead. Perot. Gretzky's cutting for the net. Can Park find him? He can. And Gretzky can't get a shot through, though. Okay. Bork skated out. Passes it to Barber. Barber moves it up to Taylor. Yeah, Taylor. And Barber with a decent scoring chance, but doesn't get anything out of it. Gretzky goes back to recover it. Can he get around the defender here? He can. Finds Potvin coming in from the point. I think that's Barber there that we've got open. But he may give us a bit of a screen, so I'm going to have Potvin try shooting it, but he decides to pass instead. Will Ramage shoot it? Ramage will, but blocked before it goes in. It gets to the net. And they get a shot on goal. Just chip it out for Potvin. Oh, no, he gets it to Taylor. Taylor's got some room here. Got Trottier coming down the middle, I think. Goes back to Ramage at the point again. I'm going to have him try passing this time. Oh, finds Trottier right at the edge of the net, but not in a position to shoot, I guess. Sharp bounce off the boards. Bork gets it, and I'll see if he can find. Oh, it goes across the net. Don't necessarily like that, but moving up the ice, and period is winding down. Can we get a shot? Try one, but it goes wide. Oh, and one last chance. Can Gartner get a quick pass off in front? But he goes the other way. And we're at the end of the period. So we're between periods now, and we get one of the other new features up, the in-game feedback. Carlisle is having trouble with his roll, so let's try and straighten him out. Okay, he's good now. We're back checking. Okay, it's telling us that we're out shooting them, but we're back checking a lot. No, I'm not going to change that. I'm okay with that. Shots were 8-8 through the first period. They had one power play. So let's see if we do any better in the second. And 22 already. It's going faster than I thought. Taylor go in and dump the puck in. Chase it. No, he decides to skate. Barber, let's get him in a little closer. And can he... Getting a lot of ship. Puck's back to Ramage at the point, having try shooting again. I think we had a deflection there, but Sindel managed to stop it. And Edwards with the save. Back out to Barber, skated out. Come on, you had man open in the middle, at least to take a shot. Oh, we're going for a line change, so he's got nobody in there now. Lost it for a second, had it taken, but got it right back. Oh, finally finds Bossy at the side of the net for a shot. And good save. After I say the Czechoslovak goaltending is bad, they wind up shutting us down. Okay, Bossy skating up ice with Gretzky. Gretzky's got some room. Bossy can get him the puck. Stays with it. And guys coming in from the point. Carlisle shoots, stopped. And Edwards making another save. Holds on to it. Trache loses the face-off. He's generally a pretty good face-off guy, but Robinson gets it back for us. See if he can find somebody coming out of the offensive zone. Gartner's fast. Let him skate with it. Trache trailing the play. Oh, he had him open there. Should have made a pass. Okay, Trache behind the net. And he's got Gainey over here. If we can get the pass to him, might be able to beat the goalie across. No, he goes the other way to Gardner. I'll try a shot from the awkward angle. Maybe we can get something on the rebound. Oh, no, finds Gainey coming in. Gainey's got a partially open net, shoots and scores. Finally, Bob Gainey, defensive forward, gets the first goal of the tournament for us. And Gartner and Trache, and that was mostly off of plays that I was controlling there, other than the one time that I asked for the shot and he passed it instead, which made sense. As Gainey was in a much better position to take the shot. I'm okay with that. See if Fleur can get around the outside here. And Goulet will try and drive a little bit deeper. Back to the point to Bork. Takes the shot, doesn't get through. I think we got a second shot there. Goulet behind the net. Can he find one of the two guys in front? Finds Lafleur. Lafleur doesn't shoot. Puts it back to the point to Bork, who puts a long shot. I think that went over the net. And another stop by Edwards. Is playing reasonably well for us. I don't think they've had a lot of good offensive chances against him. But stopped everything so far, at least. Gretzky's got a little space there up the middle, so we'll let him skate it out of the zone. Ratcast asking in the chat, you control how many decisions you make? Not yet. It's basically one per player possession. So whenever a new player whenever one of your players gets a puck for the first time, you can make the decision at the start of that. I may think about one of the things I was thinking about doing was adding an option where you only control, say, you only make these decisions in the offensive zone. Optionally, if somebody wants to, you could turn that on and only make decisions in the offensive zone or the defensive zone or whichever ones you wanted, or all three. But I think we'll add some alternatives in there. Yeah, I'm playing the whole thing out this time. I think we cut away from that fairly quickly last time because we wanted to show other stuff. Let's take a long shot with Bossy and doesn't go anywhere. Perreault takes it away. Back in deeper. We actually, when we originally did this, we had it making decisions like every second or so. So I would have had about 20 or 30 times as many decisions as you would as you're seeing here. That was pretty bad. So we cut it down to the mode in everywhere except the offensive zone, where you still had all decisions. That was still too much. So we're at this point now, and I think we'll at least have to give you the option of cutting it down further from there. And yeah, Adam was feeling better today, but he's still pretty tired, so I think he's just having a nap now, although he sent me something a minute ago, so maybe he's awake and watching. So I'm assuming he saw that if he did. And we've got Gretzky in front of the net, taking a shot, stopped by Sindel. and no real help with the rebound. Okay, park deep in the zone. We got somebody going up the left wing, so please don't throw it across the front of the net. He throws it, well, up the middle. Mr. Gretzky let him carry it, and everybody else goes off on a change while he goes in. Finds Bork at the point. Pass it from there. Oh, no, pass intercepted. Oh, bad pass. Shouldn't have done that. Generally doing a pretty good job of keeping them from getting too deep in our offensive zone. Taylor going to skate with it, get deep, and over to Dion, who's got a pretty good shot there. That block gets the rebound and tries another one. Almost had one there. And it's out of play. Gretzky back. And yes, he seems to be getting a ton of playing time here. What's he had so far? Yeah, he's at 10 minutes, almost as much as some of the defensemen. Bossy skating with it. Gretzky stays in the middle. Bossy going deep. Gonna pass it. Gives it away. Chat question, yeah, can you toggle decision making on and off? Yep, you just have to go into options and click off on ice decisions, and you won't have to do it, and it'll just play out like it normally would. I'm just going through this and doing all the decisions in this game just to show that's an option and how it looks if you play the whole game out like this, and some of the situations you can create if you do. One thing you'll see when next time one of our other players gets the puck. You've got a few here that when this is situational. So when we're in the offensive zone, most the irrelevant ones like dumping it in or dumping it out or icing it aren't available. And the start an altercation button. Generally, you need the player to be a goon type. To be, or at least with that tactical role, or one of there's a couple of different tactical roles that'll allow you to do it. But if a guy with that role gets the puck, he can try to start something. I think I'm going to change that though, so you just need to have somebody on the puck or on the ice in that role, and it doesn't matter who the puck handler is. You can have that player try to start something. I think that'll work out a little better because it doesn't happen very often now when you're, it won't happen at all in this tournament because there aren't going to be any goons playing in an international tournament like this. Yeah, it definitely gives you a lot more control of the game. I know it's not for everybody. Some people don't really see it, but there were a lot of requests for being able to do something like this, and I played a few games, old text games back in the day that gave you this kind of decision-making choice. APB Hawk for one. No, I'm not going to go for the shot. Will Sittler shoot? Nope, knocked down. Come on, Fleur shoot. And it's a fun way to play. I don't know if it's really practical to play out a full 82-game schedule doing this every night. Although I'd be curious to see the stat results from somebody who did. But if you want to play a big game, big playoff game, or the season opener, or something like this, an international tournament, it lets you get in really deep and get involved in the game yourself more than you could before. But yeah, we've come a long way in the last couple of years from just having the old engine, which was basically just text and describing individual events, to being able to show you the fully animated and what we've got now. And you can see how some of the things we've added this year, the people in the stands, the ice degrades over time. And Liut's backing up. Edwards with another save. Oh, we're running down. I'm going to have to speed this up a little bit. I am going to take that decision making off for a minute. And no, that's not even going to go fast enough that way. So I will, let's just watch through the remaining goals in this one. Oh, something coming up here. Face off in our zone. Uh-oh, that's Czechoslovak puck. Shoots and... so they tie it up. 1 minute and 42 seconds left to go. Darius Rushnak from Chalupa and Chernik. And we're to the end of the second period. Brad Park, also confused. Try to straighten him out. Still wants us to stop back checking. I'm not going to do that. And can we win this? Oh no. Oh no. Oh man. Bad giveaway in our own end. Somebody didn't get back to cover the man, and it is 2-1. Yuri Lala from Rushnak who had the first goal. Okay, got to do something with the tactics here. Let's get some shots on net and try to tie this up at least. Oh, and looks like we might. Bossy gets a shot off, save for the face-off. Gretzky wins the face-off and finds Perreault on the wing, and Perreault ties it up. Perreault from Gretzky off the face-off, and with that done, now I'm going to have to turn everything back to the way they were. Oops. Otherwise, we'll probably just hand a goal right back. Oops. And can we get a late one? Oh, something happening. That's on our side of the ice. I don't like... Oh, no, Gretzky's coming back up. Gretzky, long shot, beats Sindelt on the stick side. Or no, glove side. I think he's left-handed. High on the glove side, 3-2. And winding down, and we get out of this one. That's a surprise. I thought we were going to lose that. So I'll finish the game, and you can see the, should have mentioned that before, the new hockey card display we've got in the pregame and the postgame screens and a couple other places in the game. Right now, we're going to try to make more use of it. These cards are actually era appropriate. That's a late 70s, early 80s style card. But I want to add a few more variations so we can get some of the old ones, some of the designs from the 50s and even farther back. Not sure how soon we'll be able to get that, but hopefully we can add them this year. And looking at the game stores, well, Lala had a great game for them offensively. And Bossy, did he get the first star? No, Gretzky the first star with 2 assists, Rushnak with the second, and Bossy the third. But I'll take that. Let's continue the next day. And I may sim 1 or 2 games here. I think we'll wind up doing this for a second week. Did that wrong. Got to switch to the Canada Cup first. And see, Russians beat Sweden 7-2. USA over Finland. Day 2 of the games. Okay, let's sim the Soviets and the USA. Pretty close game. 4-3 for the USSR. Sweden, Czechoslovakia. Czechoslovakia bounces back with a 3-0 win. And we've only got about 5 minutes left. So I will change a couple of things up here. Oh no, Liud is going to get the start. That's fine. That's what I wanted to do. And I'll just show you a couple of the different things we can do. I could theoretically play this if we really wanted to go fast. Just flick it in, turn it down to full mode, set everything to very fast, and it'll play out. Well, there's a warm-up. It'll tear through this in a second. And it's really too far to follow at this speed, but if you want to get through something quickly but still want to see the play. But let's, I'm just going to switch it to all goals. And put it back on normal speed. I've got the penalty brakes turned on. Just want to see the goals. So if you've got it on all goals mode and you turn the some of the other brakes on, you'll still get those regardless of whether or not there's a goal on the play. And we're going to get something here. Yeah, Gretzky. Was it Gretzky off the rebound? Looked like it. Yeah, Gretzky from Bossian Park. And Bossy and the Gretzky line again. No, different line comes out from the point. Rebound from the point again, and the long shot. Is that is for Park? Oh, Rob Ramage is for. And you can see the ice degrading over time. That's a new thing this year. Ratcast, no replay feature for the goals yet, but I think that would be, I got to ask Sebastian about that. I think that would be something we can put in. Maybe some issues with the timing of it. Dion makes it 3-0. Going into the third. And let's just run this out, see if we can get the shutout. And 3-0 final. So a solid game against Finland. Brad Park with 2 assists, gets the first star. We outshot him handily, 35-11. And looks like we're just about out of time. So let me just see which games we've got today. Sim USSR and Finland. And, oh, that was closer than expected. 6-5 only. Finns almost had the upset. US and Czechoslovakia, probably Czechoslovakia. Oh no, 1-1 tie. And I'm just going to sim this game, or sim to end against Sweden. Whoops. Got it in all goals, so we'll see the first one here. And Sittler, all alone from the net. Okay, sim that to the end. Oh, 1-1 tie only. That was all we got. A little disappointing. Oh, I don't think ties are showing up correctly on that. Got to fix that. There should be an extra. Yeah, it's not even counting it as a game played. That's broken. That will go in tonight's to be fixed list. So the point total, yeah, the point totals are okay. So the Soviets are on top after halfway through the, or 3 of 5 games through the round robin. We're right behind them. USA doing pretty well. Czechoslovakia and Sweden and Finland complete, or Sweden has one tie and Finland is winless. Stat leaders. Yeah, Makarov, yeah, Soviets dominating in points. Makarov, Mark Johnson, Mike Bossy, the only Canadian on there. Wow, that is a lot of hammers and sickles there. Pretty much every category. Okay, so I think we'll probably come back and do something similar the week from now, or 2 weeks from now. Oh, chat question. Stanley Cup Chaser. I assume we can make our own hockey cards to put in the game. Not yet. There's, I think, a few. It's a little complicated to do some of the stuff that we're doing with the fonts and the team logos, but I would like to get there eventually because it'll look a lot. I mean, that'd be really cool if we could get somebody doing a mod, say that gave you the hockey card, different hockey card look for every season. But yeah, that's something for the future. We'll work on making that available for you. If you missed out at the start of the show, the first update for FHM 8 is probably going to be out, hoping for Friday morning, maybe slightly later on Friday, depending how the testing goes. But one way or another, we'll try to get it up before the weekend. If you haven't picked up the game yet, available on the Steam store, and I think it should be. I don't know if it's available on the Epic Store yet. It's going to be very soon if it's not. Apple Store, I think we just got approval today, so it should be on there. So it's on our Steam Store, available on our via our website to the stand if you want the standalone version, the non-Steam one. And you 10% off this week, and I think these will. I don't know. I technically can't mention if there's a Steam sale about to be imminently starting, but let's say one did start. That will be we'll have the discount price extended through that. So the release discount, if there happened to be a Steam sale this week, will get extended by a few days farther than it normally would be. So that will be available through sometime next week, put it that way. So if you like what you saw, you can pick up the game. We will be back here next week, hopefully with Adam if he's feeling up to it. Not sure what he's got planned. Might be just a one-off one, sort of like this. I don't know if he wants to get started with a full-blown game like we did the San Jose one last year. But we'll be back with that. And thanks, everybody, for coming out. And we will see you a week from now, or talk to you on the forums.